procurement process is the last of the three elements within how to do sustainable procurement of the British Standard BS 8903. And it takes a generic procurement process and it identifies where and how to embed sustainability considerations. The first step, identify the business need. Here is the biggest opportunity to make a difference in sustainable terms, and we really need to consider sustainability right from the outset of the process. To not procure at all and to avoid the consumption of additional resources is perhaps the most sustainable solution of all. So it's absolutely key to understand whether the procurement really is necessary and understand from the business what the key requirements are. So it's an important opportunity to go back and challenge and understand what other alternatives are available and whether this procurement can take place. For example, can a product be leased rather than bought? Can a product be refurbished? Can a service be shared? Let's just try and understand what are the options rather than just diving straight into the procurement. Second stage of the process covers define the sourcing strategy, and here, assuming that a procurement is required, it's really important to go and look into the marketplace and understand what sustainability alternatives are out there. Suppliers are constantly innovating around this agenda. They see the opportunity, and one of the biggest hurdles for sustainable procurement is not that there's not solutions out there, it's actually our ability to harness those solutions. It's also very important to think about the whole life cycle aspect of the goods, works or service that you're buying. So don't just think about your own operational use and need for the product, but think about it from a cradle to grave approach, from raw material right through to disposal. It's also useful to try and incorporate sustainability elements into the specification as much as possible, because here they've got most chance of being delivered through the procurement process. It's also very important to try to move wherever possible to outcome or performance-based specifications, because this means that the suppliers have a little bit of flexibility in order to meet your need and can find more sustainable solutions that will be acceptable for your organisation. The third step, identify suppliers and tender, provides guidance on how to assess how well your suppliers can meet your sustainability needs. Sustainability requirements should be progressively built throughout the procurement, starting with asking for experience in the PQQ, to asking for specific competence in the tender, to securing agreement to those competencies and outcomes in your contract or order. It's also good practice to promote sustainability in the tender scoring. Whilst minimum requirements might go in the specification, it's important that additional sustainability benefits can be rewarded. So for example, solutions offering more energy efficient products, those with higher recycled content or better waste performance. Whole life costing should also be adopted where possible. At the evaluate and award stage, the supplier is typically very receptive, so this provides an opportunity to proactively influence their agenda and gain support for any sustainability commitments that couldn't be delivered through the tender. It's also a key point to gain supplier buy-in and support for any improvement targets. At the evaluate and award stage, the supplier is typically very receptive, so this provides an opportunity to proactively influence their agenda and gain support for any sustainability commitments that couldn't be delivered through the tender. It's also a key point to gain supplier buy-in and support for any improvement targets going forward. And upon contract award, as the contract becomes operational, typically the interfaces tend to change, so it's important to ensure that everyone understands the sustainability requirements and objectives, so what the supplier actually commits to deliver as part of the tender actually happens in practice. Managed performance and relationship is the penultimate stage of the process, and it's good practice to ensure that sustainability indicators are measured alongside other business performance indicators such as cost, quality, technical and service requirements. Sustainability shouldn't be seen as something separate, and sustainability consideration should form part of the overall decision-making and performance monitoring process. The final stage is review and learn. Continuous improvement is the cornerstone of good procurement practice, and we should try and identify what works and do it again. This is a rapidly evolving field, and we need to take the time to capture good practice. Sustainability is an agenda where we can and should collaborate. Continuous improvement is an ongoing process, and procurement professionals should not need to wait until the end of the process though to commence this.